Also breaking, ABC News the first to obtain this image of the killers arriving in the U.S. for the first time together. And the FBI tonight revealing what they were doing just days before the massacre. America on edge, the frightening moment inside the mall, the shattering glass, shoppers running for cover. The breaking headline from Chicago, another video kept from the public eye. And late today, they revealed this officer will not be charged. And the Christmas scheme, stealing the package, sitting on your doorstep and leaving another in its place. And the one important step you could take tonight.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Monday night. And we begin tonight with a country on edge and looking for reassurance after 14 people were killed in that California massacre. Less than 24 hours now after President Obama tried to calm the nation, the Republican frontrunner out tonight with his own unprecedented call to bar all Muslims from entering the United States. What he calls a, quote, total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering this country. Members of his own party reacting swiftly at this hour. So is the White House, so is Hillary Clinton. And all of this comes amid that image of the killers coming through customs in Chicago when they first arrived 17 months ago, as the FBI reveals they were at target practice in the days before the attacks. We do have team coverage beginning with that call from Donald Trump for a ban on Muslims coming to America until, quote, our country's representatives can figure out what's going on. ABC's Tom Yamas leading us off.
Tonight, Donald Trump is telling the world Muslims are no longer welcome in America. Just days after saying this.
I know Muslim people, they're phenomenal people, but there's a problem in there.
The Republican frontrunner is now calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States, declaring our country cannot be the victims of horrendous attacks by people that believe only in jihad and have no sense of reason or respect for human life. This less than 24 hours after President Obama called for more tolerance for Muslims after that terrorist attack in California.
It's our responsibility to reject proposals that Muslim Americans should somehow be treated differently.
But Trump wants no part of it, especially when ISIS is out to kill.
We're going to be so tough and so mean and so nasty if we have to be. That is not going to happen anymore, I'll tell you, right now.
And saying his war on terror won't end with the terrorists.
At least I would certainly go after the wives who absolutely knew what was happening. And I guess your definition of what I do, I'm going to leave that to your imagination.
But with today's proposed ban, Trump is upping his rhetoric to an unprecedented level. Jeb Bush called it unhinged. Governor Chris Christie called it ridiculous.
This is the kind of thing that people say when they have no experience and don't know what they're talking about. We do not need to resort to that type of activity, nor should we.
Trump's extreme plan comes the same day new Iowa polls show Senator Ted Cruz on the rise. His momentum fueled in part by a solution for ISIS.
We will carpet bomb them into oblivion. I don't know if sand can glow in the dark, but we're going to find out.
Hillary Clinton breaking with the White House and saying more needs to be done.
Well, we're not winning, but it's too soon to say that we are doing everything we need to do.
But in response to Trump, tonight Clinton tweeting, this is reprehensible, prejudiced, and divisive. Donald Trump, you don't get it. This makes us less safe.
A lot of reaction coming in as we're on the air tonight. Tom Yamas now with us live. And Tom, I know we have a team inside the Trump rally at this hour. How are supporters reacting?
Well, David, some supporters are actually endorsing this plan, saying they fully support it. Others are calling for any type of screening process when it comes to Muslims. But tonight, Donald Trump may have a huge problem with the United States Constitution. Lawyers telling us that Muslim immigrants could not be denied or preferred because of their religion. That would go completely against the Trump ban. David?
Tom Yamas leading us off tonight. Tom, thank you. And you saw his Republican opponents responding. The White House also quickly weighing in tonight. Let's bring in ABC's Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz. And Martha, this is an unprecedented call. How would a ban work?
It certainly is, David. Just think of what Donald Trump is saying right now. There are as many as 7 million Muslims in this country. So could their relatives not come in? What about athletes? Would Trump ban teams from coming from Muslim countries, student visas. The White House has already responded saying it's totally contrary to our value as Americans. We have in our Bill of Rights respect for the freedom of religion. And the Council on American-Islamic Relations, the nation's largest Muslim civil rights and advocacy organization, tonight is condemning Trump's comments. And of course, this comes at a time when law enforcement really needs the help of Muslim communities. And experts will also tell you this is exactly what ISIS would love. More Muslims will feel alienated, not just radical Muslims, and they will try to recruit them, David.
All right, Martha Raddatz live at our Washington bureau tonight. Martha, thank you. We are also learning much more this evening about that young couple behind the terror attack, chilling new details about their secret life. The FBI tonight revealing they were both radicalized for, quote, quite some time. Overnight, the FBI questioning their neighbor, a childhood friend, Enrique Marquez, who authorities say bought those assault weapons, and then they say checking himself into a mental facility after the attacks. ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Brian Ross, tonight.
There was no joy, no smiles, as the two future killers arrived in the United States for the first time as a married couple. This picture was taken in July 2014 at Chicago's O'Hare Airport as American citizen Syed Farouk brought home Tashfeen Malik, the Pakistani bride he met on a matrimonial website. Tonight, federal authorities are trying to determine if even then they were planning to go to war with America.
We have learned and believe that both subjects were radicalized and have been for quite some time.
The FBI today also revealed that the couple took target practice at this gun range just days before the attack. And overnight, agents finally were able to question the man who they say provided the couple with the two high-powered rifle. Authorities say Enrique Marquez, a convert to Islam, is now being questioned about his relationship with Farouk. He and Farouk grew up next door to each other in this neighborhood.
They were very close friends. If anybody in this neighborhood, Enrique was the closest to Saeed.
Overseas, the investigation is focusing on the wife's background and contacts in Pakistan before she came to the U.S. Malik's official photos show her evolution, from the young woman wearing makeup and a scarf, her hair showing in a college application, to a still loose veil but no makeup and a national ID card, to this photo applying for a U.S. visa with traditional veil, and finally her arrival at O'Hare Airport in a strict conservative black headdress.
She's probably the most radicalized of the two of what we've seen so far, and could easily persuade, a spouse.
Only a few years ago, Farouk appeared to be just another Californian millennial looking for love. But he too underwent a transformation in how he presented himself after travels to Pakistan and Saudi Arabia, and then his marriage to Malik. As the FBI found when it raided the couple's home, they tried to cover their tracks by destroying phones and computers. But it appears Farouk did leave behind his voice on a mobile phone answering system.
Syed Farouk is not available.
The voice of a killer.
Syed Farouk.
And Brian Ross with us now. And Brian, it was just last night the president said there was no evidence of a larger or broader cell in this country. But your sources telling you tonight they're not certain of that.
That's right, David. Authorities say they're pursuing a number of different leads tonight that could lead to charges against others as alleged accomplices.
All right, Brian, I know you and your team will stay on this. In the meantime, now to the chilling new accounts from inside that holiday party. The 14 lives cut short, and this evening we are hearing from some of those workers in the room who survived, describing what sounded like fireworks at first and then a man dressed all in black unleashing a hail of gunfire. ABC's Cecilia Vega in San Bernardino tonight.
The shooting started before the attackers even walked in the room.
It was pop, pop,
maybe
pop,
a
pop,
little
pop.
bit more.
Doors open?
Doors fly open.
Yes.
Yeah, they're forced open, hard. The shooter stepped right into the room and began firing immediately.
Health Department bosses Trudy Raimundo and Corin Porter gathered with staff inside the very room where they held an active shooter training just the year before. The second they heard the shots fired, they dropped to the ground, hiding under tables for cover.
It seemed like it went on forever.
It went on a long time.
The room was packed with tables, a screen on one side for presentations, a Christmas tree on the other. Syed Farouk and Tashfeen Malik burst in through this door at the center of the conference room, opening fire, blowing out windows and striking many of the people at this table, the very table Farouk had been sitting at earlier.
We have several down in the conference room, several down.
They say Farouk entered first, Wearing a ski mask, the couple unloading at least 65 rounds.
What are you thinking? What are you doing?
There was a small break in the tablecloth, and I just kept looking down, and I just kept hoping that the gunfire would stop, and I couldn't believe that it would stop.
What went through your mind when you heard that name?
It's a complete sense of betrayal. It amazes me every day how close this group is, how tight-knit they are, and it's nothing but betrayal.
And Cecilia's now with us live. Cecilia, did this gunman, their coworker who turned on them, say anything when he entered that room?
Actually, no, David. The people I spoke to today say they did this in complete silence. One of the workers telling me that he did manage to look up at one point and see Farouk pointing the muzzle of his gun at the ground where people were laying. It appeared that he was firing on his coworkers one by one. David?
Cecilia Vega on the scene in California all weekend long. Cecilia, thank you. Tonight, this nation still uneasy, and this image says it all. A scare at a mall over the weekend. Just miles from San Bernardino, shoppers thought they had heard gunfire. It was thieves smashing glass, but that fear is leading to the kind of long lines we've witnessed at gun stores across this country. ABC's Matt Gutman in California with the scene at that mall.
SWAT teams and cruisers screaming to the scene.
Shots fired inside the mall. Active shooter.
Those mall shoppers sprinting for cover.
When I saw everybody running, I thought it was a terrorist attack.
What's happening? What's happening? So we just grabbed each other and started running out the door.
Three males with guns.
But there were no guns, only thieves' sledgehammers smashing displays. And tonight, with the nation increasingly on edge, gun store owners across the country reporting a surge in sales, from Washington state to Pennsylvania.
People are scared. The situation in California, I think, has really alerted a lot of people.
What kind of weapon are you looking for? Getting an AR style.
At this gun shop, the line is hours long, just a mile from the site of that rampage.
It could be you, it could be me. So in reality, terrorists. We have a homegrown terrorist. So.
A new reality setting in. The parking lot is as full as the store. In fact, the volume is so high that one employee told us it's unmanageable. In fact, one of the hottest ticket items today, assault-style rifles. David?
Matt Gutman with us from California. Matt, thank you. We turn now to an ABC News exclusive tonight, the new threat from social media, fueling ISIS, and by one count, 90,000 messages and videos from ISIS on social media every day. We know that wife-turned-killer pledged her allegiance to ISIS on Facebook around the time of the attack. ABC senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas spoke exclusively with Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson, asking him what he would say to the leaders of Facebook, Google.
When you meet with executives from social media companies like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, what are you asking them to do?
I'm asking them to partner with community leaders in the Muslim community to give them a larger platform for their message, to give them a larger platform and a larger microphone for the counter message.
Pierre's with us now live. I know there's a lot of concern about social media being used as a major tool for ISIS. You reached out to some of the nation's top tech companies, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and what did they tell you tonight?
Yes, David, the companies say they have a zero-tolerance policy. Facebook told us there is no place for terrorists on Facebook. We work aggressively to ensure that we do not have terrorists or terror groups using the site, and we also remove any content that praises or supports terrorism. YouTube told us it rejects terrorism and has a strong track record of taking swift action against terrorist content. And while Twitter did not give us a statement, it pointed us to guidelines which say users are not allowed to promote violence, period. David?
Pierre Thomas with his exclusive with Secretary Johnson tonight. Pierre, thank you. We do have breaking developments out of Chicago this evening. A Chicago police officer seen in this dash cam video. It is difficult to watch, firing at 25-year-old Ron Johnson, killing him. Word tonight that officer will not be charged. Authorities say Johnson was armed, resisting arrest, but now comes word of a Justice Department investigation taking aim at the entire Chicago Police Department. ABC's Alex Perez in Chicago tonight.
Tonight, top Chicago officials under fire in the wake of this now infamous video showing a Chicago police officer shooting Laquan McDonald 16 times in 15 seconds. Now, a new video of a different case shows police chasing 25-year-old Ronald Johnson, one of the officers opening fire, killing Johnson. The county prosecutor announcing today no charges for the officer involved.
I'm not covering anything up.
The video, released more than a year after the incident, Johnson's family says that gun was planted.
I want that case reopened, and I want